Party people. Whoa, wait, hold on, where am I? We know that the party people are in the place to be. Hold on a second here. Haha! There we go. Alright. Party people in the place to be. Live from 58 Dream Street. We're James of the Games. And today, we keep on climbing that tower. Adventures of Lolo 2. My little indulgence here in between playing the classic RPGs that people want to see me do. Alright. So without any further ado, hope everyone's having a good Saturday. Anyone who's out there already. And everyone who's not here. Good Saturdays all around is my earnest hope. Alright, firing it up. I gotta worry here about volume. I just remembered. Okay. Just in time to not overwhelm myself with the thunder sounds. Just mess around with that a little. Alright, good settings, good volume. I'm happy. Get a nice hot cup of tea. It's called apple pie. It's a rooibos and black tea blend with various things in it, including, you may not be surprised to hear, dried apple chunks. Absolutely delicious. All right, here we are, back on the 7th floor. I can't remember. British, hello. How are you today? So, I don't know. I can't say for sure whether it should be credited as I remembered or I figured out, because I know I've done this particular puzzle before, but we left off here last time. Oh, well, I hope that it gets better from here on out. My day's been alright, personally. Not the best Saturday that I've had lately, but a pretty good Saturday so far. And now I'm here and I'm playing Lolo, so that's nice. But yeah, as I lay down in bed last night, I got into bed and I reached out, touched the shoulder of my lady, and then I figured out this puzzle. It might take a try or two to execute, but I have solved the puzzle. So, hold on. 2, 4, gotta get all the shots. And like I said, I don't know if I figured it out or remembered, because I've definitely done this before. Okay, step 1. Get all the shots and get us down to 1 hard framer. I only messed around with this briefly at the end of last week, but what I wound up convincing myself, or trying to do, and it was not the right thing. Oh, it's my microphone doing the thing. I think it is. Hold on, let me go into the sound settings here and see if my microphone is being a jerk. Oh, it's not the microphone's fault, but there we go. That should be a bit better. Okay. Yeah. Whether I remembered or I actually figured it out, I'm not sure. But last week, what I was trying to do was figure out how can I set this up so that I can grab the last hard framer, run across the grass strip there, and somehow get to the treasure chest, like it was an action scene. Obviously, that's not the answer. I'll show you the answer. Like I said, might take a couple tries to execute. But first, we zap one Alma away. And wait for that telltale sound. Alright, that Alma no longer exists. We blocked her respawn. Let's do it again. I think this will still work to block her respawn. If it doesn't, well, that's one of these execution problems. It works. Okay, now there's just 1 Alma there. I still have 4 shots. Let's let Alma out into the field. And then you can probably see where we're going with this. Oh no! Alright, execution, like I said. She went back home. She was like Abra when I let her out into the hall. She wants to explore a bit. Then she's like, okay, let's go back in our home, where it's safe. Actually, Abra's been particularly brave this week. She made a new friend in the hallway. My neighbor, Annika. She went out. Annika was literally right across the hall. Annika was opening the door. So Abra ran into the hall and went, "Oh no! Someone, something's happening here. Danger!" Ran immediately back in. And then, because Annika was like, "Oh my goodness!" Because, let's take a moment here. Hey, Abra. Abra? Hey, sweetie. Wanna say hi? Wanna say hi, Abra? Yeah. Whenever she knows, it's like she knows when I'm trying to show off how chatty she is, so she just makes a fool out of me. But suffice to say, Annika was excited about Abra, and so took Abra out. Again, we coaxed her out into the hall, and then she was just very, very, very happy. She loves to meet her new friend. Just a little, it's a more touch and go situation when you're meeting a new friend out in the hall where danger could lurk, as opposed to when you're on your own territory. Okay, this time around, we just have to not let Alma shut herself back in. So I'll just get down to business quicker. And then, boom. I didn't even think about the fact that there'd probably be a current there. I just thought, I can probably step across and step to the right. Even that might have been touchy with the skulls. But now we've done it. And we're back on track. Thanks, either buried memories or latent reasoning ability. Okay. What do we got here? Bunch of goals, one leaper, one Alma, bunch of skulls. Thanks, I hate it. Two bridge powers, three framers, three emerald framers, of which two are currently accessible. The one at the bottom right of that lava, not as accessible. So the gimmick with lava, in many ways it works just like water, but if you put a bridge over lava, it's a temporary bridge. So I guess that's actually a new mechanic that we're encountering here for the first time. Let's see what we got here. And of course, we also have a bunch of sand. Sand slows Lolo down, as you can see. And that's about it. Okay. No shots from that one. No shots. It's gonna take a little experimentation here. I can tell. Or is it? Well, yeah. I mean, for one thing, I gotta find out where are the shots. Where is the, the tip over point where you can finally start picking up bridge powers. Here, this part's obvious. Now watch that bridge. Bye-bye, bridge. Okay. Could it be so simple? Probably not. Because if there are any shots at all in that set of hearts, then most of this stage is irrelevant. So probably it's not going to come true, but we might as well try. No. Instant death. Okay. Well. I didn't see a shot count appear, but there are shots there. Okay. So... I'm not sure. Obviously, I want this guy... If there's only 2 shots, all in all, then I guess I want this guy in an egg, and this guy in an egg, when I get the last heart. But even then, I don't really see how I'm going to get there. And I haven't touched anything else. I haven't touched the framers. What is going on here? What's the gimmick? Okay. Okay. Here's one thing it could be. It could be... get a framer up there to block those two goals. And then I need skull control. I need some kind of plan to block the skulls to some degree. Because I could then go zap, zap, and that would clear me through if I blocked those two. I'm missing something though. So let's try it and see how it fails. Can I get the framer across fast enough? No, I can't! Lolo, bathing in the lava. That's a shame. Okay. Okay. Alright. Well, what we can say for sure is that the nearest to the treasure chest heart framer is not the last one that I'm going to pick up. In fact, it's probably the case that I can actually just run past those goals, and I do not need to block them in like that. So let's try that theory. Alright. I'm gonna want to utilize these framers first, though. Because check this out. Probably I want all three, but if I'm gonna get this one that Lolo's running fruitlessly against right now, I need a bridge on either side of it, then I need to push it away from where it is. And I probably want to do that from the top, which means I need to deal with this one somehow. So, where might a young man wish to place these framers? Well, Let me think. Okay. Well, one obvious move. Maybe it's not so obvious. Because I can block that one in, but that can't possibly be the most efficient available use of that framer. So I'm probably gonna come to regret that I did that. But nonetheless, let's try. Because yeah, what I probably really want to do is something like this. Because this is effectively, I can shut off the whole lower area with two framers. Then what's the third one for? Okay. Gotta think this one through. Obviously. That's actually what you have to do with all of them. I guess I should just keep experimenting to make sure even that my underlying theories are correct. Like that I can do this. Sure can. Okay. So, yeah, that safeguards the whole lower area. But I don't see, because if I'm getting one of these hearts first, it's tough to see how I'm not just being destroyed here. Right? Because if I grab that heart last, the skulls are going to get me. Well, that'll only be one skull on the go. Oh, I see now how I could have used framers more efficiently. Over on this side, at least. And on both sides. I think I see it. It's again, it's the half square gimmick. Because look, if I put one framer here, straddling this square and this square. It'll block this guy in, but it'll also block the top here. And I can do the same thing here, and then put one here. And they're all blocked, and we've solved the puzzle. Okay, let's execute. I found out, and this is another thing, I didn't actually learn this. I just reminded myself of this, because I know that I read about the full Eggerland series, of which the NES trilogy of the Adventures of Lolo games is just one component. I know I'd read about them before and their relationship to the Japanese series and such, but I'd forgotten the precise details, which are that in Japan, there are 2 Famicom entries in the Adventures of Lolo series, and they use the engines, for lack of a better word, of Lolo 1 and 2, but the caveat is that they use said engines. What point am I trying to make? They use the engines for an entirely different set of puzzles. Oh no. That can't be the first one I place. I still have the puzzle solved. In the broad strokes. It's all just execution now. I'm on the 8th floor. I thought I was on the 7th floor. Well, that's great news. We're very close to the end. Yeah, so Adventures of Lolo 1 on Famicom in Japan actually came out after Lolo 2 in America, and it uses this exact set of sprites and gameplay mechanics and such, but a different set of puzzles. This game is actually a compilation of puzzles from the earlier Eggerland games. And then Lolo 3 went back in Japan, it's Lolo 2, but also just a whole different set of puzzles. So that's exciting. I am not going to do 5 full Lolo games before I again play something that seems like it might have broader appeal. But in the fullness of time, that's really exciting to me. Because I love these games. Boom. See? See what we're doing here? And let's just do the other half placement right away. And we'll use the, push it halfway, push it down. Everyone's stuck. We've neutralized the entire bottom part of the screen, and we can neutralize this guy and this goal, although we're never going to step in front of him, with the remaining framer. So let's do that. Alright. It's all over but the celebrating, really. Well, I'll get these ones. And then everyone wakes up, but no one can do anything pitiful. One goal and an egg, one more. Whoops, excuse me, gentlemen. Boom. We continue to climb the 8th floor. Probably I was on the first room of floor 8, so this is probably 8-3. Each floor has 5, sorry. 5. Well, 5 puzzles. I believe there are 10 floors. So if we're on 8-3, that's 1, 2, 3 on 8 plus 10. 13 puzzles to go. I have no distinct memory of whether I've beaten this game before. I don't think I have. But I very well might today, which would be nice. Okay, so what do we got? Obviously, the real tricky part is going to be down here, but up here we have Medusas that need to be blocked from the non-wall side and the bottom. So we need 4 things to block there, and there are 4 things here, but we're also obviously going to need to do 2 blockings of this Medusa. So there better be some shots in play. That's what I'm saying. And on that note, also we have 2 hammer powers. Fairly obvious how we're going to use those. We're going to smash one of these rocks to get a block in here, grab this. I'm going to smash this rock, get a block in here, get the treasure. So now it all just comes down to where we might find the shots that we need. So I'm going to start with the hope. You know what? I already think I've made a wrong move. I should have thought more, because... yeah, I definitely have. Because I'm going to need to use these snakies a lot. And obviously I'm going to need to reuse them, so there's going to be a lot of shots. But that means that the framers need to be used to block the bottom part. Because I'll never be able to get on that side and push the snaky in again. Logic. Okay, so let's do it right. I'm trying to figure out, because in my winter first year engineering course, we supplement our communications content, you know, getting better at writing, and specifically looking at persuasive writing. How do you make a case for something that is not just, you know, how do you convince someone of something rather than just telling them some facts about it? Oh, come on. Don't do this to me. Okay. Okay. So... Okay. This requires quick reflexes. Pixel perfect motion. Alright, let me try it. Are we ready? Boom. Placed. Running. Oh no, I took an extra step that I didn't need to take. Too many extra steps. I'm doomed. This might be salvageable. I think... Excuse me. Brief intermission, folks. I think I just heard Milady come home. I should go say hi. Hang tight, gang. Danielle was not home, but the intermission was not wasted, because the cats have been pushing for early lunch since well before 2 p.m. here, so what the heck. Have early 2:30 lunch. Alright. Okay. Is it even possible to get back around fast enough? It's not. Okay. So, there's still hope. If this framer has 2 shots. Or, yeah, this heart framer has 2 more shots. We can do it. Because we need 2 shots to deal with the snaky, and then we need at least 1 shot to deal with it once more. So hopefully, fingers crossed. Okay. Yep. And 3 shots is enough to do the whole rigmarole. We've done it! And then we just do this. And we're done. Excellent. No door. This is 8-5, baby. Okay. We have 2 Medusas. Bunch of emerald framers. And also a whole bunch, just an awful lot of one-way, or arrow squares. They're not one-way. They're in fact available to every way except the way that they're pointing. The Medusas will need to be blocked on both sides. And there are 4 emerald framers. So that all seems pretty straightforward. Let's dive in. Just looking around, thinking a little. Okay. I think we got to do some experimenting if we're going to figure it out, so. Oh, great. 3 of the turn arrow powers. For better or for worse. Obviously, I can't go up there. But I don't need to go up here yet, because I can just do this. Okay. Well, let's see what I can do. I think this is maybe a bit much for me to just think my way through right at the start. Okay, took care of that. Now, obviously I can't go into the top row until I can push that thing up. So I could use 2 of these powers right now to nudge that framer up. Oh no! Okay. It's probably not what I'm supposed to do. But maybe it is. Maybe it is. Who knows? Okay. No, because I'm stuck forever in the top now. Okay. Needed that to go a little bit better. In fact, maybe I should not. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have turned that thing. Okay. That part seems relatively certain. I can grab that with no cost or downside. Okay. Then what? Yeah, there's no way. Yeah, I'm constrained here. I must do this. Or so I think. But if I must do something that I know doesn't work, here's a thought. What if the real trick here is that the framers seem intuitively, to gravitate towards the Medusas they're next to? What if actually this one needs to come up to the top and this one needs to come down? Let's try it. What would that demand of me? I think I would need to push this down, use one here, and then come through and use one here. Not quite sure if this is getting me where I want to go, but it could be. Okay, well, top left Medusa is dealt with, as are most of the framers. Also, I definitely don't need to use anything here to change that direction. If I push this down, okay. If I push this down, and I want to go back up, I need to use the thing there. But how would I ever get back to the other side to push this to the right? It cannot be done, can it? No. Seemed like we were getting close. but I don't think this is it. Let me verify. Not just in theory. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. I was overthinking it. This is why we verify. Because we solved it. Haha! Nice try, Floor 8. I'm a little too clever for you. Floor 9, here we come. Thanks, British. That felt good. Oh, we got some crazy flicker going on with those goals. That's not a... That's just a... That's... Ah, I see. I was having too many... sprites on the one line. So what do we got here? A Dawn Medusa, the most horrifying creature ever devised in nature or in fiction. Whole bunch of goals, whole bunch of skulls, one leaper. 5 emerald framers, every single one of which looks like it'll be available for use. No powers. Okay. Well, let's get started. We're constrained at least in one way here. Oh, no, did I speak too soon? Mayhap I did. Might not be constrained. As constrained as I think. It does seem like I have to go down first. I'm gonna try it. Okay. And also, probably I want to put Leaper to sleep to block the goal in the bottom left for when it's time to get the treasure. So let's let Leaper go. Grab that, just to have it out of the way. And now, I guess I could do this. Okay. Oh no! I fell asleep on the job there. Okay. Leaving space so that Leaper cannot make contact with me. And then grab this, but get it out of the way. Oh, this part seems simple enough. I will have Dawn Medusa under control. But no shots, so this is not winnable right now. Because once I get that hard, that goal will fry me. So I need to give it some thought here. It's the bottom right one that's actually available to me, isn't it? In which case... Okay. I should try to get Leaper sleeping in the spot that I want her to sleep in. Okay. Not that it's gonna matter. I cannot win. But now at least I can mess around. We can fuck around a bit and find out what will happen. Obviously, I want to neutralize the skulls. That much is clear. And if I can do it with 2 framers, all the better. Not 100% sure it can be done with only 2. Actually, hold on. Not quite. At least not the way I've tried it here. But I could block the goal not with Leaper, but with one of the framers. Because I could push a framer over, push it up to this spot, come around it and push it down. So Leaper is one of the 3 skull blockers. if anything, I probably want to put her to sleep here. Right? I think so. Oh, you say game over, but the game is not over. I should have pressed one button once. The game is on. Okay. So I'm just not going to go down and grab the bottom right heart framer yet. That's the last one. That's the one to get last. Absolutely. Does anything cause Leaper to go down there, though? Maybe I can get it done by pushing an emerald framer down there? I think I can. I'm hopeful. So let's do this. Put that to the side for the moment. Will Leaper get by? Yeah, this'll work. This'll work. Oh, but. Well, maybe. Yeah, that should do the trick. Oh, but then, how am I gonna finish blocking? I might have needed to... A conundrum. A conundrum indeed. Just staring at this. Trying to think. Well, might as well proof of concept the rest of the level here. Even as I don't think I've quite got it. Yeah, because I needed that framer to be at a half step. How? How can that be done? Or did I need Leaper? I mean, this part's clear. And I should grab this. No shots. I don't see how we evade the skulls on this one. But you know what? Oh yeah, because they're all bottom locked too. Well, we'll watch Gull shoot the other Gull in the face for a moment. Alright. Okay. All is not lost. I think what I need to do is I need to get Leaper to sleep right there. How? Well, let's do what we know we need to do. And then think some more. The actual thing that we need to do is think more. And we know that. Alright. Dawn Medusa, blocked in. Easy. Not a problem. No notes. Well, I can get this block down anyway. How might that modify Leaper's path? Not in any meaningful way that gets the job done for me. What does a half block in the path do? Absolutely nothing. What about this way? Nothing. And if it's all the way down, Leaper, will you... No. No, you won't. What if it's like that? Oh, but then you're stuck. Oh! But if I had done that, when Leaper was on the other side, I would have a Leaper who was going into the spot I wanted her in. Then it's all timing. I don't know whether Leaper is canonically a boy or a girl. Or I'm certain that it doesn't matter. And that in practice, for most of the characters, it would probably make more sense to say that there are male and female Leapers. Yep. My fuzzy memories of the instructions say that at the very least, Medusa is definitely a woman. We have Medusa and Dom Medusa. And we have, Alma. Alma's, I think, definitely described as female in the game contents. Although, again, kind of seems like there probably are male armadillos. Okay. Let Leaper go back around. Tap it halfway. There we go. Okay. Then this part gets tricky. Oh. Because I need Leaper doing this. Once again, not quite. Okay. And maybe that's not the answer, but I can't see how to get it done with framers because of the placing of those goals. Alright. Well, some of this seems solved. So I might as well do the solved actions. Get myself set up for the trickier part. Maybe not blocking the bottom right goal will help in terms of giving Leaper more space in which to ramble. Oh, or perhaps... Ugh. Not entirely clear how it would help. But... Okay. Okay. If I'm right here, she stays on the path. But I didn't get in fast enough? Narr! Not sure that can work. I'm not 100% sold, but it's worth another try. Bum, bum, ba, da, ba, da, bum, bum. Okay, no. No. Okay. How far down can I get before Leaper stops following the full path? Oh, she'll follow the full path, okay. So close. Nothing yet so far. I think the timing is possible here. Which is a shame, because that means I have to keep trying it, and I could be wrong. Always honestly happier to recognize, no, it is not like with those snakies that I temporarily in that puzzle where I thought I need to push them up in front of the Medusas, go around, get the heart, get back, and zap them. When it became quickly clear that was impossible, it was real good news. This meant I didn't have to keep trying until I got it right. Too soon. Jump the gun. Slipped. Okay. Staying calm. Calm, cool, and collected, baby. Alright. I wish I wasn't so sure that getting Leaper there was the answer. But it seems like it is, right? And that sets us up. What if... Hold on. What happens if I do bring this down where I'm eventually going to want it? Leaper still does the path I want her on. Does this give me a little more wiggle room? Okay, that's... Ah! I might have had that if I had not pressed down too soon. Would anyone think less of me if I used a save state so that I could just keep trying the timing again? I would like to avoid that if I could. So I'll just... For now, I'll keep trying. But we'll say at some point, perhaps I will give up in frustration and say, the game is actually about solving the puzzle, not about the timing. But this felt good. This felt like it was helping. Okay. Okay. I had talked last week about maybe I would... the next thing I'm doing on Saturdays is going to be Live Alive. I'm going to play the remastered version of Live Alive that was just released by Square Enix. Squaresoft, back when they originally released it in the 90s. And I said maybe I'll start doing half and half. Play some Lolo and then we'll start. We're not going to do that because I realized next Saturday I'll be out of town. So no point in starting a new narrative game and then immediately breaking the momentum. So one more pure, uncut Lolo day. Wait. Not sure this is actually doing anything to help, but it feels like it helps. Temptation is strong to do the save state bump. Gonna hold it for a moment. Okay. No. Not quite. Not quite. Okay. Let me look at this again. Before I keep trying to get the timing right there, is there something else I could be doing to corral Leaper into the spot that I want her in? Not sure. Okay, what if I put that all the way down, and I get the other one that I'm also going to want to push down there, and I just build a wall. I don't think that's anything. Nah, I'm still, this is the exact same timing trick. And that's not going to do it. Okay. I think I'll do the save state thing. I'm not playing this to prove my twitch, like twitch in the sense of dexterity and thumb skills and reaction time skills. Proving this to show how smart I am at solving fun little puzzles. Okay. Okay, gonna try it. It's gonna be a little bit later than that, sooner than that, but not that soon. Sooner than that? Maybe this is not the answer. That might be as good as I can do. In which case... Aha! I think I might have just figured it out. No save states required. So we'll just all forget that I temporarily succumbed to my human weakness. Right? Nobody saw that. You all looked away temporarily when I crumbled. Okay. Here's my thought. Now, while Leaper's still on the long path... Oh! That was just me being a dummy. This does not invalidate my theory. It's execution that we're dealing with now. Every now and then, here's the thing. Some Lolo puzzles have an action component. where executing something really, really fast with the exact right set of button presses, maximum efficiency, all that, is part of the solution. And then sometimes you think it is and it's not. And I think that's what we've got here. Put that in position, huh? Huh? Can you see where I'm going with this? Here's the other one that I'm going to need to take over to the left. And now it doesn't matter that I can't get Leaper right down in the spot. Oh, except I needed to hesitate slightly longer. In fact, now I might actually even be able to get her in that spot, even though I don't need her there anymore. Okay, I think we've solved it. I think the conception phase is entirely over. It is now the execution phase. And there's a little bit of... I mean, whenever there's a Leaper or an Alma, there's at least a little bit of timing at play. But not that much. Hey, waffle syrup! I'm on floor 9 now. I solved the one that I was on, the first one on floor 8. As I went to bed last night, I realized, not sure if it was a memory or a realization, because I definitely had played it before, but yeah. Now we're on a roll. I think I know this one. Now it's just execution. How are you doing today? There. Didn't get it right all the way down, but it doesn't matter. Those skulls are blocked. It's all under control. We gotta remember this is a goal. He's glitching. Too many potentially animated objects in the row, perhaps? But goals are never animated. They just have different static states. You know what? Probably not important to figure out. We've all written a few of those, I'm sure, in our time. The things we should have written long ago, but we're writing them now. How's it going? Do you have a strong outline? Have you identified and filled your information needs? Smooth sailing, baby. Awesome. Glad to hear that. Okay, what do we got? What do you got for me, tower? We have skulls, obviously. Goals. Skulls. A Medusa who needs to be blocked. Probably just on these two, like the left and the bottom. All kinds of emerald framers. What's up with these goals? Why would I ever be at risk of going in there? Oh, it's also going to be tricky. We're having some real flicker issues here. Okay. Okay, what can I do to get started here? I have to go around. I have to go around and I have to access these emerald framers. There's no other first move. So let's just try using them to block Medusa in the way we need her blocked. And see how it evolves from there. No powers in play. 2 shots. Was expecting that, for sure. Okay. So I can't move these guys on a horizontal plane at all. So let's just, can it be all so simple? Not sure if that was the right shot, but it could be. So then I have to go like this, and like this, and like this. Now I have 6 shots. Yeah, this one might actually just be easy. There'll be a little panic. I gotta beat the skull in a foot race here, but I think I will easily. Yep. Okay. That wasn't much. Whew. Okay. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Medusas who will need to be blocked. These ones above and on this side. Ding, ding. So that's 4 spots to block them. There's a lot going on here. I'm going to briefly intermiss. I'm not sure if that's actually a verb, but you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna run to the washroom. I'll be right back, gang. Hang tight. Okay, back at her. Taking a look here. Lolo's having a nice little nap, so good for him. I think I gotta turn the music down, at least a little for myself. Let me know, audience, if you need any adjustment there. Okay. Now, these top ones can never be used for anything else. But these ones can. Thank you, British. Because now they're doing double duty for me, which is good. How else do these Medusas need to be blocked? I'm looking at this like, okay, this is this is all just a red herring, isn't it? I can never get over here, so the arrows are just there to trick me. I never have to go down to the bottom row. Wait a minute, though. Oh, okay. This is one of those snakies that respawns in a different spot. Because there's no other way to get a... There's no way to get a heart frame, an emerald framer here. There's no way to push the snaky there. So that has to be what that is. That's good to know. Treasure chest does not block a Medusa shot. So I won't take that one. But I have my 2 shots. Might as well test the theory. You love to see it. Okay. We are on the way. But what else needs to be done? Both of those Medusas in this row need to be blocked here and here. Obviously, here's part of it. But I can't... There's no way to bring these back, is there? No. No, there's not. Because obviously this L-shaped, this corner, prevents me from pushing anything that's out there back into here. And so... how am I going to get another thing to block here? Why don't I find out what I can do? That's simple enough. And this is symmetrical, so it's simple enough over here too. Well, it is simple enough, except I botched it. Well, hold on. Might as well just do that. And then it's open. There's no way to get it. Confirming my theory. Okay. So there's a gimmick here. But what's the gimmick? Okay. Oh! Actually seems simple enough, doesn't it? I had to figure out a way to not use both of these over here. And then I can bring one back. I gotta have both right now. But then... why don't I just try it? Ah! That's why I don't just try it. Oh God. Well played, Lolo. Lolo the game. Lolo the character did not have his best moment there. Okay, let's take care of the Snakey. Alright. How? Oh, it's not too hard, is it? No, it's not. Okay, I think we've solved this. Not without a little bit of trauma along the way. But I think I read somewhere that every enormous shock that suddenly heightens your heart rate makes your heart stronger in the long run. Has anybody read that? Is that a thing? Is that a paper I was reading? Okay. I don't even need to do the same thing on this side, but I will. Yeah, this is it. On one side, and then on the other. Boom. Excellent. Okay, this must be 9-4. I haven't been keeping track. We have a very active stage ahead of us here. We have Dawn Medusas in the bottom, obviously both moving horizontally. This guy, there's going to be some timing at least with him, because I'm gonna need to grab that and then block him over to this side. 2 Rockies bumbling around up here. At least they're held in by grass. Alma going nuts up here. And a Dawn Medusa down here. Okay. I have an Emerald Framer right here I can use. But it might just be all speed with that guy. Let's try it out. Let's see what we can do. The goal should be easy enough to get around. Even when he wakes up. Oh, wait. Oh, no. There's more to the story here. I need to bring Rockies down. No, wait. Never mind. I was thinking I needed to push this framer in. But I don't. It's doing everything I need. This guy's neutralized as long as I don't stand here and let him kill me. Which I won't do. Okay. So... then... should leave those 2 for last, because they're providing helpful blocks. No, wait. I can't. I'm stuck. But at least my heart is prepared for this. I'm gonna suicide by Medusa. Lolo, when he gets hit by the Medusa, kind of for a moment looks like an Alma. Okay. So this framer actually can't be used for Dawn Medusa. Which is an even scarier timing thing, actually. There. Because I gotta do this with it, right? There's no other option. Or so it seems right now. And then... ah! Okay. So yeah. Hopefully, we can get these Rockies to come back down with us. Oh lord, there is one spot here where Dawn Medusa can get me. From his lair in the bottom. So I gotta keep an eye on that. No shots. Not comforting. Hey, Rockies. Okay. Unegged Alma surfing is the obstacle. It's a little heart pounding. But not that hard. Please give me some shots. Oh no, but I can manipulate. No, I can't manipulate the Rockies to cross the thing. Is it all just timing for the rest of the Dawn Medusa hearts? Yeah, this is like a timing level. The whole gimmick of the puzzle is about timing instead of hard and fast solutions that make you feel comfortable and safe. Right? Let's get this one last. Okay. And then just wait till this one's gone, and boom! Another one in the books. This should be 9-5. It is. No way out. Oh, we have the strange... we have a Dawn Medusa who's trapped so that he's like a Medusa. Except, we have the hammer power, and I think that's going to be possibly used to free the Dawn Medusa. That's a... feels like a real, you know... be careful what you wish for kind of scenario. Alright. As well as 2 Medusas. The 2 Medusas both, I think, need to just be blocked from one direction. And I'm absolutely going to need to let that Dom Medusa out. Because I don't think I have enough things to block him fully. Let's try this. We're going to want the Emerald Framer to work with us here too, I believe. But how? Oh, I know how. Ooh, no I don't. I take that back. Yes, I do know. I untake that back. I think. Okay. Okay. You know what? A lot depends on something I don't know yet. I think he's going to be a horizontal Dom Medusa. But I guess we're forced to experiment. So let me think through before we get poor Lolo stabbed in the face with a great big knife. Obviously, we have this Emerald Framer. So when I let him out from here... I gotta let him out and run to the right. And then I can bring this up and leave it just right here. Okay. I think he's gotta be horizontal. I wanna believe. Yep. All rocks. We're safe. Love to feel safe. Alright, I think we got it. I think we're saying goodbye to floor 9. And I just gotta... Yeah, pretty simple timing. Yes. Alright, feels good. Wait, what's happening now? Okay, I've never seen this. Which puzzle did I get stuck on in my youth, the last time I played this game? Okay, so at the top of the tower, Lolo gets on a flying sailboat, and it takes him to the castle in the clouds. And there's like a new background and everything. Hail, Stimpinski! A new background, all new graphics. Not all new, but the rocks and the trees are new, and the floor is new. Cool. Alright, what are we looking at here? We are looking at... there's a Rocky. Of course there is. 2 Dom Medusas, 2 regular Medusas. Some Snakeys, some Goals. We're getting close, I can tell. I had been thinking there would just be 10 floors in the tower, 5 stages each, so maybe there's just 5 stages in the castle, or maybe I'm underthinking it. Either way, this is uncharted territory for me. Okay, gotta think. Well, I'm pretty constrained. Well, maybe not that constrained. I could go up by maneuvering around Rocky. Oh dear, I'm dropping frames. My connection... Oh, that square. It's doing the thing I hate. Blinking colors other than green. Well, worry about that in a minute. Okay, unchewat. Let me look here. And if I went... Yeah. Yeah, I think I need to go up first, because I think I'm going to need to approach from the bottom, or from the top, to deal with these Medusas. So let me see what I can do. That seems necessary. I should probably get this. 2 shots. Ah. Oh, awesome! Which chores? Alright, who do I want to zap? Maybe just the goals. Because that'll neutralize them. Oh! Never a pleasant task, but certainly an important one. A valuable one to get done. Okay, well, Rocky wanders around in there. I'll do proof of concept on the other side. I think I've got this, though. The Snakeys were a red herring. Alright, let's get Rocky out of there. And then get him doing the same thing over here. There. You wander around in there forever, Rocky, and have fun. Meanwhile, boom. Ah, every puzzle is a floor. So it's gonna be like a 5-floor castle. Lolo doesn't celebrate because he knows, like, no, I haven't cleared a suite of 5 puzzles. Okay. Taking a look here. We have 2 Medusas, 3 goals, water that obviously contains a current. And the Medusas are all going to have to be blocked by teleporting snakeys. So we might need some trial and error here. Okay, what can I do? This snaky I can force to teleport, if indeed it is a teleporting snaky. Fingers crossed. Yep, okay. Okay. Well, I can definitely do this. And... no. Can't do that yet. Really like when my internet stopped being a jerk. Huh. I said that and the square turned green and it hasn't flipped back yet. All I had to do was call it out. Okay. Great. Zap zap. Oh no! I had to grab that heart before I pushed the framer. And then push this down. Grab that. And now I can actually come around down here and grab this. And I can go like this and get this. 2 shots. And then probably this is a teleporting snaky. But let's test that. Oh wait, so Stimpinski, I've been waiting for the other 2 skill ups that you gained. But are you just saying that you gained 3 levels in the specific task of defrosting the fridge, the freezer? Because there's the defrosting, and then there's the you know, the disposal of the food waste, and then the cleaning of the fridge. Aha! There we go. I was like, what else? Did you I was trying to guess, like, what is a chore that you might not have, can't be vacuuming. You gotta vacuum every now and then if you have carpets or rugs or whatever. Okay. Oh no. I'm screwed. The quest has failed. Because I can't get past these dudes. Okay. That's alright. Bum ba-dum ba-dum bum. Get the shots. This one is the one I want to get last. It's a trick that it's the first thing that I secure with a teleport snakey to make me think that I should get it just because. But I shouldn't. That's the one I want to get last, so that the goals are not a problem. Hey, it's red squaring again. Don't be a jerk, Internet. You're a jerk. You're a jerk. No. Negative reinforcement only worked the once. Okay. After this puzzle, I'll go and wiggle the Wi-Fi antennas around, see if that does anything. Probably not, but you never know. Wait, I have no shots left. And I see what I had to do. Okay. I need to preserve a shot? There's an easy way to do that. Let me show you. That's how I had to make that Snakey despawn. Not by zapping him twice, but by zapping him once and pushing him in the water. Now I have one left over, and we'll be able to get into the current. I'm waiting. What am I waiting for? No! I had already grabbed that heart before, so I knew there were no hearts in it. Because, at first I was grabbing it just right away because I'd freed it up. But then I realized I need to get that one last, because otherwise I can't get past the goals at the bottom. Okay, I think this is solved. Hell yeah, baby. You'd love to see it. We cleaned out our fridge and freezer a few weeks, maybe like a month ago, right near the start of the school year. That was a hideous task. We had let it go way too far. I went and I bought lawn clippings compost bags. Just like 4 foot tall, big, double ply, triple ply, like really thick, but still brown paper compostable bags. And I just filled the thing up, and then I put it in another one of itself, and then I like hoisted it, and it was pretty heavy. It was gross. Okay. What am I dealing with here? Dawn Medusas all over the place. This is castle level 3. So if there's 5, there's only 3 more to go. Alright. Skulls all over the place. The treasure's all the way back up here, which I hate. I'm gonna get one, change the arrow power. Dawn Medusa, Dawn Medusa, Dawn Medusa. Regular Medusa. Oh my. Oh my indeed. Okay. This one I think is going to require some experimentation. And also, it's hard to see how this doesn't end in a few horrifying missteps where I get hit by a Dawn Medusa. Okay. From here, I only have one option. Now I have this framer. That I can do what with? I'm gonna push it up. And then... Okay, so I'm going to the right with it. I can't do anything with it. It'll just block me in. In fact, I'm just stuck no matter what I do now. This was not the way. But I do think that was the right first set of moves. But instead, let's try dealing with the down here part. It's the old down, down, to the left, or to the right. We definitely want to put that to the right because then maybe we can use it for something. Okay, don't gotta worry about that guy, at least until the skulls wake up. But obviously, by the time I wake the skulls, I want to be in position to make a hasty retreat. We've got shots, and we've almost unlocked the power. Obviously, the last heart that I get cannot be the one that is in between all of the skulls. But what should I do? How about... I do this. And then I can also... do this. Okay. I have one shot. Only one. At the moment. I can change the facing direction of one arrow. I didn't get another shot. Huh. Could I somehow... Oh wait. I can do this now. I've got the run of the place in that regard. Okay, hold on. Can block a goal, thus. That's good, but... I have access to one more framer. Which I can get... Oh, I have 2 framers to work with, in fact. Can't work with them, though. Okay. That didn't work out. I gotta think about this some more before I shut it down. Like, before I press select and die and wake up the room refreshed. But, you ever have a moment where you go, wait a minute, I forgot to eat lunch today. I'm having that moment right now, because when I skip a meal by mistake, I pee a lot more. So I gotta run to the bathroom, folks. Hang tight. I'll be right back. Okay. Alright. So the quest has failed. I cannot beat this level now, but let me think for a minute. Suppose that I had figured out a way, without even thinking about what the way might be, but that I did it. I got here, and I blocked Medusa in. If I got this heart last, what's my path out of the level? I don't see it. Okay. We need to I need to reset the stage. I need to start fresh. Seems like it is going to be that one that I have to get last. How do I even get something over there to block that Medusa? Okay. Okay. I think where I'm going to need to use the arrow power is here, because this would create a way to the treasure, but could also give me a way maybe to push this guy down. I'm not sure what that would do for me. Okay. Oh. I might see it. Okay. Well, I mean, I might see a thing. I don't know that I'm seeing a solution to the puzzle yet, but okay. Trap that jerk. Trap this other jerk. And then still not seeing. Okay. Maybe hold on. Maybe my whole theory is wrong. Wouldn't be the first time. What if it's something like this? I don't know. But what if push that up to there. Then I zap this guy and put him up here. I step over and take that, and I push this guy over even a little more. Then I can bring this down and over. But wait, there's more. Then I go do 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 do. No, can't do anything with this. Am I over or under thinking this? Seems possible. So that skull's coming right for me. I should have pushed it halfway and dealt with the skull. At the very least, that's one thing I can say for sure. That down. Bring her over. Trap this jerk. And then let's do this. Just want to stare at it for a moment. Make sure I feel like this is the move. You know, I really do think this is the move. Or at least it's the one that I want to play out and test the implications of. Over, up and around, bring her down, but now only a half step. Is that enough? Is that on its own enough? The question is, I can't remember. Wait, yeah. Is that enough space to get past a goal? Or can I somehow get another framer? If I bring that framer from the top down, if I bring this down, no, because when I push it in, I'm stuck. Let's try it. It's not enough room. But could that be as simple? Could it be as simple as... No, it couldn't. So I gotta block him in some way. Okay. This might just turn out to be a repeat of what I just did, which we know doesn't work. Let me set out here. Trap him. Okay, well... See, if I did use the arrow on this one, then I can get another framer over and block this goal, except I wouldn't be going past them anyway anymore. I would need to be going all the way through here, and that's not going to happen with all these skulls away. There's no way, there aren't enough framers, I don't think, to lock the skulls completely. Yeah. In order to get around them. So, I might as well do that with this. Doesn't matter, that skull's movement is not going to impede me, but... Okay. And now we think. Like, it's possible. It feels like all those moves are the right moves up to now. And maybe it'll turn out actually I'm missing something earlier in sequence, but... You know what? I need to take the headphones off my head for a moment. Some combination of light and sound and headphone tension is giving me a bit of a headache here. Or maybe it's just that I'm thinking too hard. It's okay. It's mild. Okay. What can I do to deal with that goal? Okay, testing assumptions here. Re-examining my assumptions here. My assumption here, so far, has been that I can't get another framer up there. I suppose I could if I use the arrow on one of these, except I definitely need the arrow to get to the treasure. There's no way to the treasure right now. So that's where the arrow has to be used. So there's no solution with that. How many more framers are there? There's 3. And I would be using 2 of them on the gulls up there. Which I believe is going to constrain me from... Oh no. What if it's putting one framer halfway here and then actually doing this one and needing to run the gauntlet and have the skulls chasing me, but otherwise having the Dawn Medusas contained? I think that's just crazy enough to work. Let's try it. Bring this one over like this. And I can push it down. I can use it. Doesn't matter which one I use. For which purpose. Because then... Oh, wait. Hold on. No, no. Because now also... What am I doing with this now? But no, I don't think I can do this. I don't think it's gonna work. But how could the framer help me with the skulls? Where do I need to go if I'm dealing with the skulls here? I need skulls to be following me. Don't think I've got it. But I might as well try the Wild Skull Goose Chase plan. Nope. They figured me out. Okay. Nope, that was not the plan. We're so close. Castle level 3. Would love to beat this today. Is there any way that getting a bottom one last could do something? Let's find it. So what if I was getting this one last? Don't know if that opens up anything. No, and in fact I won't even be able to get the, Okay, nope. Because I need to get the arrow changing power. So I can't be leaving that last, because I can't get that framer without the arrow changing power. Oh! Maybe I just need to give myself more space by... No. No, I thought I saw it, but I don't see it. So I was thinking, if I could push this guy down, but I need to get above him before I can do that. Can I use the... no, that still wouldn't matter. Using the arrow power there would be foolish. Okay. Huh. What if I'm overthinking the Dawn Medusa? Does this open anything up for me? Okay. Well, how many framers would it take to lock these skulls in? 1, 2, 3. I can lock everything but this one skull with 3 framers. 1, 2, 3, 4 to work with. That would greatly enhance the odds that running this loop strategy could work. Let's see if I can maneuver them properly. No, I'm thinking I can't. I think hope is already lost on that score. Because if I bring this down, I can get it to here and then it's locked. Unless I push it up and then it's locked in there. There's no getting that through there. So it's either for blocking him or for using this one and then taking this over. But then what else is going to block this guy from the bottom? Is the answer that I don't actually need to lock him like this? I just need to time around him? Have him block from the bottom? I hope not. Okay. Might as well play it out till I'm stuck and see if just some lateral thought occurs to me. Because I could... Oh no, I can't even get down below that. Okay. So no, that is that. I've used the power. Oh, wait, but... Very skeptical of the thought I'm having, but... Put that over there. No. This is nothing. Because it didn't pin the skulls in at all. Okay, nope. Okay. What can it be? To begin! Okay. What if I'm wrong about my first moves? Is there anything else I can do here? Like I could go over here, but I wouldn't be able to go up. I'll just push this over and then just, that's useless. So like going down, coming over here. Definitely first step. Definitely a first step, but okay. Take some action. Whoops. Without the sound, I'm not horrified by that mess up. I miss the music, but I need to minimize the mild aching in my head if I'm going to think through this. Because with my nearest solution, the only thing stopping me at the end is the presence of this tricky goal. But I don't know that I see a way around it. There's some gimmick whereby I get closer to locking the skulls. Ooh. I think there might be. Maybe I can lock all those skulls up if I'm very judicious in where exactly how I place the framers. Not sure. Okay, no sound. That one did get me a little. I'm just a coward. That one didn't get me, because I saw it was about to happen. Okay. Ding. There we go. That's the window. Okay. Like this. Put that up there. Now, let's do this. That seems like it's doing more to constrain the skulls. I don't know if I still don't know that it'll be possible to fully constrain them. But what if it is? If it is, it's a game changer, of course. Bring this one right down. Go like that. Maybe. Okay. I have my doubts here. If this is anything. I guess it's worth trying. Yeah, because I only have... I don't see how I have more than one more framer to work with down here. This one. But, okay, hold on. Hold on. I think that does trap all of them except one. And I can deal with... I can still lock this guy completely with what's left. And then I do this. Oh, and then with my one shot left over, the one skull that comes after me can be zapped. At least once. I might have this. Okay. Well, I need to hear the music now. Headache be damned. So, my thought is to go here. Okay, take a moment here and look. All those skulls should be trapped, right? They can't get through here, they can't get through here, so only this one's coming. And so, where do I want to get it? For maximum effectiveness? I think I want to be... Depends on where it comes at me from. Okay, so there is an action component here. It's not avoidable. Let's try this. Haha. Here it comes. I'm evading it. Heavy slowdown. But it doesn't matter. We're all equally slowed. Boom! Haha! Here we are. Oh, this is... That felt good. Thank you, Stupinski. Okay. Castle level 4. We have one Medusa. Don't you love it when a plan comes together? We have one Medusa. We have four arrow tiles and one ability to change one. And Medusa's gonna need to be blocked on all sides. Huh? On 3 sides at least. Okay. Well, let's take action. Let's feel it out. Begin the feeling out process. So, to work with any of these framers, I need to be able to get to the top. Aha! Well, I do love milk. I'm not sure if you're making an A-team like the 80s action series reference to Pinsky. But that, my milk comment was definitely trying to pile on that. Okay. If I'm going to get to the top, it's going to need to be like this. Okay. And now I've got the power. And I have a few options. But I think this is... I can free up this framer for use without using the power yet. So I think the power is going to be on the other side. But what would I do with it now that I've got it down here? Anything? I mean, technically I only need 3 framers. Because we do not necessarily need to block Medusa from the left. In fact, quite possibly impossible to block Medusa from the left here. Then, the power has to... I am almost positive of the 4 options, it has to be this one that I change the direction of. I certainly hope it points left when I change the direction, because then it's just not a problem at all. Let's find it. Oh, wait. I gotta think a moment here. Yes. Okay. So we were I don't know that I've ever even seen a full episode of the A-Team, but the references are familiar to me. You know, B.A. hates flying. You gotta drug him in his milk to get him on a plane. Hannibal loves when a plane comes together. Nobody can aim a gun well enough to land a bullet on anybody. Okay. Like, somehow I need to get 2 more framers up here. Okay, let's just try this and see where I get stuck. So then the question would be, how do I get another one there? Oh! Oh? Maybe the trick is actually... Because look at this. I can do this and block her from the left. Now how do I get the last one? Because this framer is locked, as far as I can tell. I've got no way to push it from the left. Or from the right. So close. Is it possible that I never needed to block her from the right? Okay. Yeah, there's no need to block her from the right. That's the trick. Why is that the trick? I don't know yet. But it's the trick. So... Okay, hold on. Hold on. Can this be made to work? No. The thing that I was just thinking... No, wait. Oh, no. Oh, wait. Okay. I think we've done it. No, not yet. Okay. Not yet, but as I often say to my cats, not yet, but soon. I just pushed this too far. But I had the idea. The bottom block at the start doesn't need to go up. Because now I can block her from the bottom like this. Never need to block her from the right now. But also, because I haven't put that there yet, I can come through here and do this with this one. Very good, very good. Bring it down and over here. Because we're just going to do the same thing with both of them, right? Yep, it's in the bag. It's all over but the pushing. Waffle syrup, if you're listening. We went back. We got Friday Night Forgotten Circles going on last night, and it turned out the special Rift event that we got to add to the deck when we finally beat the Shackles Loosen scenario and escape from the husk. The event had the result of forcing us directly back into the Shackles Loosen scenario with the new goal of needing to kill the husk. Oh, did burner account laugh at our expense. There, solved. I just need to resist the temptation to just go straight down there. Yeah, and it starts him with 2 times character damage. So in our case, we didn't have Lauren, so it was 6 damage. And then it says, your new goal is to kill him. But apparently he was already killable. The whole thing where it says, like, the husk can never be reduced below 1. When you get him down to 1 the first time, he goes back to half health. So presumably when we get him down to 1 the second time, he'll go to quarter health and then be killable. And that was always going to be the case. And it's also much, much easier to fight him than to run from him. Infuriating. This could be it. This could be the last stage. I'm not sure. What do we got? We have a leaper. That's going to be torture. Oh no, it's simpler than it looks. This leaper needs to be used to block this Medusa. We're constrained. Gloomy, it's pretty great. I'm ready to be done with Forgotten Circles. We're gonna see the journey out, but very excited for Frosthaven, which is starting to ship. I don't know that mine is shipped because I'm not American. Okay, Dawn Medusa, who will need to be blocked. He needs to be boxed in, and a Medusa who needs to be blocked 1, 2, 3 sides. But there's only 4 things. Plus the leaper, but the leaper needs to go there. Wait, but then this Medusa needs to be blocked. Oh! Dawn Medusa needs to be blocked here. Which means playing tricks with the Snakey. Okay, well, let's start trying. Okay. I need those shots. And in fact, Leaper's going to pull double duty. We're not going to put Leaper to sleep to control this Medusa from the top. We're going to egg Leaper to get past there, and then we're done with these 3 columns, so we're never coming back. We need to use Leaper again, perhaps down here. But that's no good. There's a major constraint here because I don't know how many shots I'm going to have in total. Or how many I'm going to need. So a little experimentation. You do need proper timing there. It's not that hard, but if you slip up at all, it's harder than you wish it was. Like that. Okay. It's okay. Perfect. Shots? Yes. Shots? No. Let's try getting Leaper in position like this. Maybe, maybe not. Then, it's gotta be this. Okay. Shots? No. Okay. That has to be a teleporting Snakey. Which means this needs to give me shots. But... nope. No luck. Okay. Very, very close. I mean, it can be a teleporting Snakey. I just needed to use it earlier. That's probably it. Nope. Had to let... Jeez. You need real precise timing with that Leaper, actually. Because she's gonna turn and ruin your whole plan. Moments after she's in the position you need her in. That was not timing. That was position. If I had an actual NES controller, it would actually help. Quite a bit. There's this old arcade game, early 90s, and it had kind of like a Dragon's Lair gimmick in the sense that like all the game is put the exact right joystick and button presses in during these full motion video scenes. And the gimmick was it was a hologram game. So you're like standing over a thing and looking in, and it's all holograms. And it had something to do with like a time traveling cowboy or something. The only thing I remember is that there was one level where just someone appears behind you. And so the way to win is to turn around and shoot. But you gotta get it precisely. So every time you mess up, the guy laughs and goes, "Turn around before you shoot." Anyone remember that game but me? I know it exists. I looked it up once to prove it to myself. Alright, take a nap, Leaper. Okay. This all has to come together quickly. Fast, fast, fast. Yes! We might have just beat Lolo too, folks. If this is indeed the final puzzle. Boss fight! I was prepared for the idea of a boss fight because there are a lot of boss fights in Lolo 3. But I've never actually fought the Great Demon King. Or the Great Devil. The Great Devil. He's not hard. Because the game is a puzzle game. Whoa! Lolo gets a kiss. He's just like, holy shit. Holy shit. Yeah, it was like, oh, what's his name? I can't think of the guy's name. You know, in Dark Souls, the one that you fight in the catacombs? Pinwheel? Pinwheel! That was Pinwheel. Just real easy. Okay. Ending definitely stepped up from Lolo 1. We got a few different things going on. We got this nice lovely scene. This is more exciting than just watching the trees slowly turn back into proper trees. No, pardon me. The end. Wow. Why did it take me until I was 37 years old to finally beat this game that I first played when I was like 6 or 7? I think it's mainly that I've actually spent more time playing Lolo 3 than Lolo 2 in the big scheme of things. I think I'm just tired and hungry, but I'm starting to get paranoid that I'm getting sick. I don't have time to get sick. Oh yeah, there's nothing more to do. I'm like pressing start. What do I think? Like there's a new game plus? Okay. Victory. Excellent. That feels good. Okay. Well, let's fire up Lolo 3. That did feel like a good game well played. And now, let's give this one a try. I can't remember if the storyline is shown to us. Yeah. You gotta not press start if you want to know the story. It's a different story. It's not just Lala gets kidnapped by the Great Devil. Lolo is just, he's taking Lala down to the river and he's describing the process by which he solved each and every puzzle in the previous game. And she's like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. And she knows she has to like he came and saved me. I gotta like act interested, but like holy shit, dude. There were 50 of those puzzles. Oh, of course, it's the Great Devil again. Boom. So there we go. All the other folks in Eggerland have been turned to stone. Except for Lolo and Lala. We can play as either of them. I don't think we can go back to the castle. No, we just gotta set out. We have a world map now. Including, I'm not going to go through the tutorials here, but we have a little tutorial area where also yes, thank you Bag of Magic Food for bringing that up. And welcome. Hello, nice to meet you. I knew that was true. Like, I know that's a thing that I learned long in the past when I first learned that there was the whole Eggerland series outside of the Lolo games. That Lolo 1 and Lolo 2 for the Famicom are the Lolo 2 engine but with different puzzles, or mostly different puzzles, and the Lolo 3 engine but with mostly different puzzles. But then I'd forgotten. And then I just read it again last night and I was like, holy smokes, why did I never look into that? So I definitely will. I'm probably going to, do another narrative RPG as I often do here next. But, so probably not all 5 Lolo games in a row. But in the fullness of time, I can't wait, because I do love these games. Alright, so welcome, Lolo. From here on, it will be a test of your strength. But not really my strength, huh? First, damn. I have to do the whole tutorial. Just because I came in to show that Grandpa Egg, or whatever, I don't know if he has a name. But anyway. Tutorial. Let's learn how to play Lolo. What next, Grandpa? No, it wasn't. That was really easy. I agree. Well, I really shouldn't have done this. There's no need for me to do this. I just wanted to show off the Grandpa Lolo sprite. I guess he must have like a grandpa name like Papa. He's probably Papa. Or... yeah. It just feels like it's gotta be same sound twice in a row. Hopefully it's a 5-level tutorial. No need to narrate the puzzle-solving process here. I'm solving these puzzles by glancing at them and instantly knowing what to do because they're tutorials. Great! I qualified! What does that mean? Literally nothing. It's just there for practice. So, check it out. You can probably see what's coming here. It's locked! We can't go in there yet. There's no difference between playing as Lolo or Lala, because that would break the game. But we'll switch between them. Lolo will do this cave, and then Lala can do the other one. Stay here, Lala. Now, it does seem like the two of them are missing an opportunity to combine forces and make the puzzles a lot easier on themselves in some situations. Okay, hold on. My sudden fear that I might have been becoming sick is receding. Because now I'm just so happy that I beat Lolo 2 that I feel better. But now it's also starting to feel cold in here. Oh, my door's coming up in a bit. Because, hey, Astra, I didn't even see you there. Notice you there. Okay. Well, we are back on Easy Street for a little bit here. Not even using all our shots as we clear the rooms. And not thinking too hard about it. I mean, I've done this particular set of puzzles. Yes, the one non-NES Lolo game that I've played at all is I think it's called Lala's Quest or something, but it was a PC game, and I played it on Windows in the 90s. And yeah, it was like that. You had a big map, and where you left changed where you entered the next puzzle, which is really interesting. But I remember we got stuck early. I wasn't as good of a puzzle solver. So adding that new element was just like, it's too much. Leaper who can't move looks hilarious. Okay. Perhaps an actual reason to think here. Medusa needs to be blocked on 2 sides. 3 sides. Again, this isn't too mysterious, is it? Shots? Yep. Oh! Yeah, I saw when I was looking at last night when I was looking at the list, I saw there was one more game in the series after the Lala game. So it makes sense. Hold on, I'm being called to. Probably to be told to please shut up and close the door or something not so loud. Hang tight. Okay. It was as I suspected. That I am extremely loud. So Danielle just wanted me to close the door. Fair enough, babe. Done. Alright. Is this a 5-room cave? It is. We get the magical egg. Or the rainbow egg. Yeah. The problem, Stimpinski, is that the megaphone is built into my my whole system here. Yeah, so you get the rainbow egg. Can you imagine already what the rainbow egg might do? I'll let your imagination run wild, folks at home. Alright, how about this place? What do we got? Well, this part's straightforward, it seems. I need to block. Yep. Pretty straightforward. And of course they are. Almost got ahead of myself. Whew! There's probably a less tense way to do that. Okay. Hey, look at the snakies. They're friendly. They like to look at Lala. Okay. I think this is really, really simple. It's just to introduce the concept of skulls. But the grass is going to ensure that they don't actually cause me any problems. Introduction to Rocky level. Also, shouldn't be too hard. Nope. Okay. Room 4 already. Well, pretty clear what to do here. Gotta block in all the skulls, but you also gotta make sure that you block with the goals facing the right way. Not too difficult. It's probably gonna be a while at this point. Now that I'm on a Lolo roll. Yeah, this might finally be the finally beating Lolo 2 was cool, but I'm sure I've gotten very far in Lolo 2 before, so it's not that big a deal. Very exciting to think of the possibility of finally beating Lolo 3. Oh, my cat wants to leave the room. There you go, sweetheart. Go tell Danielle I said hi. Alright. Water and Dawn Medusa introduced simultaneously. Boom. I say this a lot, not just here on this stream since I started playing Lolo, but just in my life constantly, that it really bugs me that they don't, like, HAL Laboratories is still going. They even have Box Boy, a series of low, low budget, but not like in a cheap way, but just in a, this isn't a big AAA game way. Puzzle games, the Box Boy series that they put on the Nintendo eShop. There's no reason that we should not be getting a new Lolo game, a mid-budget Lolo title. Like we got the key, we got the egg. The key gets us in. You can imagine what the egg might do. Ooh. Okay. Well, this is not nothing, but it's pretty simple, right? I need to get rid of that skull before I've collected all the things, which will be easy enough. Because I'm also going to have at least 2 more shots, because I got to push the Snakey with 1. I need to make sure the Leaper falls asleep in the rightmost column, and then I need to put Alma in an egg. Roughly, yes. That's pretty much exactly it, Stupinsky. As you'll see. Shouldn't take me too long to provide the demonstration. Yes, I remember doing that as a kid. But then, of course, without the rainbow egg, how could you possibly get to the next tower? Okay, what's going on here? Well, we're constrained. We gotta go over here. So I can grab this. It's not gonna be the last one to get. Or maybe it is. Yeah? Sometimes it's nice to not have freedom of choice. It clarifies matters. Yep. It's gonna be a while before we get to meet the one new enemy and puzzle mechanic of this game. But there is one new guy that creates new mechanical challenges that you must deal with. Okay. I often lock myself up in these. But let me see. Nope. Don't even have to do the left, right, and then center to the side trick at the end there. Okay. Just want to box in all the Medusas. Do I have enough stuff to box in all the Medusas? Well, let's put the framers firmly in position, and then look at the snakies. Not quite enough. But that's fine. Because we just gotta do that. A couple times. And then same deal on the other side, right? Oh, I forgot there's a new tile. I know I've seen it. I can't remember what it is. Well, that's exciting. Boom. And you know what? I've never played the Game Boy ones. Not even in my like late 90s, early 2000s emulator phase where I played like just tons of stuff. Why wouldn't I do that? That's weird. Because it's not like it's some new thing to me to discover that I love Lolo. Okay. Ooh. Well, in the fullness of time, I'm gonna play all of it. I was really hoping for more shots. Oh, this is still salvageable. No, it's not. Oh, yes it is. I might not be getting this in the right order, but I have all the blocks I need. But no, I'm definitely doomed. Can't get this bottom one last. Oh well. Oh no. Okay. Let's play it again, but smarter. Okay. Also, that it's not a new mechanic, but when you press select to retry the level, Lolo no longer dies and just does the losing animation. Now you get the doodly doodly doo jingle. The "don't worry, you'll get it on the next try" jingle. Which I'm totally going to do here. That sand should have really been the dead giveaway that I needed to deal with the bottom hard framer sooner. Ta-da! And then, with the rainbow egg, we hatch a rainbow! I can confirm that was not a standard NES glitch. That's an emulator glitch. By the way, conscience clear. I have paid for Lolo 3 before in my life. Although I am playing it on an emulator right now. Okay. So what do we need to do here, really? Just block all the Medusas off. Okay. I have 2 shots to work with. And I think, I'm gonna have to do this. I think. This early on, it's just like a throw caution to the wind. Just start solving the puzzle, see what happens. So yeah, the only question is, can I get the Snakey into position? And I can. Do I have time to do it while it's in an egg? Yes, absolutely. Oh, a shorter version. That's interesting. Especially back then, it wasn't really that common, I don't think, for there to be that much privileging of the Western releases. Well, this much seems clear. Oh wait, no. It's not perhaps that clear. Okay. I need to block these Medusas all over the place. You know what? Let's try this. Okay, more shots. Because then, I want to put these guys over. Then I just need to do some pushing with the framers. Ah, the past. Which is so... I mean, it's not like there aren't games, obviously, that come out in Japan that never come to us nowadays. But it's definitely a lot less chaotic in terms of what you might actually get to experience. Okay. With all these framers, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I would only need 2 to deal with the vertical guys. But these guys I would need 3. Well, what do you know? 1, 2, plus 3, that's 8. So we just need to maximize our framers. Let's start with this. No, not as terrifying because I saw how I was messing up there. So I wasn't caught off guard by the pitching of the knife. One under control. Because it's easier, less pulse pounding to do that. But, I don't know. No. I don't think this was the way. But, what if it is? Yeah, might not be the most efficient way, but it'll work. Okay. Well, I should take what I can just easily get. Whoops. Okay, nope. Let's start over. Doodly doodly doo. Okay. Alright. Actually, why don't I do the thing where I take stock of the stage and see what's demanded of me here. I've got a Dom Medusa who obviously needs to be blocked on 3 sides. That's going to take 3 framers. These Medusas need to be blocked on 2. That's going to take 4 objects. There are 5 framers and 2 fellas. 2 skulls. So yeah, we have all the pieces we need. I can't use the skulls to block the Medusas. That's not going to work. So, let's say we... A lot depends on where I can get hearts from. Oh wait. I can use the skulls to block the Medusas from above, which means I can use all framers for Dawn Medusa. Oh, Donny boy, the frames are closing. You in, you in. Alright. Excellent. Get the 2 framers into the bottom positions, and then I just gotta get the skulls into the upper positions. No problem. Okay. This does require moving quickly. He's gonna go left, gonna go up and around, push him down, and then back up and around and push him to left. I believe it's possible. Oh no. Slightly inefficient. Doesn't matter. Half will do. Really not a lot of room for error there, though. So hopefully this one goes smoother. Perfect. So there's a risk for a cocky player to clear the level, get the treasure, and then block the door if they're not thinking clearly. But I see that possibility in advance, and I'm not going to fall for it. Oh, come get me, Skulls. You're too late. Nice try, though. Alright. Ooh. Hey, Medusas need to be blocked. Let's see. On the left, we have one that needs to be blocked from 3 directions and one that needs to be blocked from 2 directions. That's 5. Then on the right, we have one that needs to be blocked from 2 and one that needs to be blocked from 3. That's 5. 10. We have all the framers we're going to need to do this. Let's get started. Throw caution to the wind and just start pushing things. If there are problems, we'll discover them as we go. I'm going to avoid grabbing framers at all, heart framers. Until I've done what I feel, until I've done everything I can think of to do. So then I can think about which one should I be getting last in order to get to the treasure. And also I'll know if there's any shots in play. Not going to push that one yet. Instead, let me start dealing over here. Yeah, because then this guy... Ah, I'll get this... That's clearly not the last framer I'm going to grab, so I can do this. without worrying. This looks like the easiest way to get the one at the bottom. Take this one over and up. Take this one down. Very good. Okay, what is left? Nothing. I've got leftover framers. Why don't I just make it possible to get the treasure without being blasted by a goal? There. And now if I get the one at the right above me right now last, I can easily get to the treasure. Perfect. I don't know where he was looking at it, but my buddy Greg somehow found some kind of Twitch analytics thing last night. He was like, "Hey James, check it out. You're the 9th fastest growing Chrono Cross streamer." I thought I felt more successful before you told me that statistic. It reminded me of when I remember I was at a launch for a thing, the Emera idea build. Anyway, we put buildings in at our school, and the speakers were talking about innovation, and they were like, a recent list ranked Halifax as the 12th most innovative city in Canada. Do we have 12 major cities in Canada? I mean, technically there are, but even so, if you're not in the top 10, I don't think you should be bragging about how efficient you are. We're gonna skip out. Actually, here's what we're gonna do. I don't actually want the training, because I'm an expert. But I can't remember if, is this also just Grandpa? Yep. Okay. It's is there a Grandma? If there is, we want to meet her. And now, 4 caves. I remember with these caves. So, obviously, defeating the 4 caves will blast that wall. Then we can get to the castle. Defeating the castle gets us the boat. We get on the boat, and then a thing happens. Okay, you're up, Lala. Gotta wrap up fairly soon on account of that whole thing I was saying earlier where I forgot to have lunch. Oh, you fool. It's what brunch did to me. Well, it could be a thing with a chicken wing. A thing with any kind of body part that would not be helpful in the situation Lolo and Lala find themselves in. Okay. Yeah. So I remember the gimmick of these caves. They are all themed around one particular enemy. So this is the Snakey Cave. I guess a lot depends. It might be that you have to choose right between left and right for this to be solvable. Or maybe not. 2 shots? Well, if it's only 2 shots, I can't deal with that bottom Snakey yet. So I'll do this. More shots. Very good. Only thing I can do with this Snakey at this point is push him like that. And then... Oh, vacation. That's a... Right. I remember you were saying. You booked off time for vacation and then can't actually go visit your dad. Which sucks. But you've got some stuff going on now and you're starting to feel, hey, I'm not actually gonna go to work today when you wake up, as opposed to waking up and being like, I gotta go to work. Oh, right, I don't. Which is also a good feeling. But I had pretty much the first like proper vacation of my adult life because I spent a lot of time in my life doing the millennial thing. Awesome. That's wicked. Yeah, I spent a lot of time in my life doing the millennial thing of being, underemployed, but also overemployed in the sense that I always had several jobs. So it was this summer when it finally all came together. I got to take a vacation, and I certainly had when I finally got to that mode where when I woke up I didn't think about work at all for even a moment because I realized I did not have to go to work. Felt good. Uh-oh. I've messed this up. I think. I'm almost positive I've messed this up. Unless the last heart framer has shots. Oh, I can't even get to it. Okay, that was silly of me. I see what I did wrong. Easy to fix. But I did it again, didn't I? The easy to fix thing was to push that snaky down before I carried on. This is a weird way to do it, but that's okay. There. Now I don't even need all... Oh wait, yes I did need all the shots. Oh no. I've still messed it up. What doth I miss? Is it actually just that I needed to go this way? No. That's no different. Okay, fine. I know I'm just going too fast. And thus missing something obvious. Ah! Right is not workable. Gotta go left first. Oh, I see it. I see it. It's that right now, I need to do this. I shouldn't be pushing the snaky back and forth that many times. There. Have a good D&D, officer. Thank you for stopping by. Okay. Well. I need to block both Medusas from both available directions. So I need 4 things of blocking. I can use 2 framers. That's easy enough. But... Well... Let's find out why it doesn't work. Because I can't see the answer just looking at it. Oh wait, can't start doing that yet. The 2 best parts of D&D. Why did they even call it Dungeons and Dragons when the name Dwarves and Demons was just sitting right there? Imagine if they, like, when they were coming up, when Gary Gygax and co. were coming up with Dungeons and Dragons, and sort of, building on the basis of their wargame chainmail, if they had just been like, alright, Let's call this thing like Chainmail Plus. Oh, I see. I think I see the trick. Actually, no. I don't yet. Oh, I see the trick. Hey, people like puppies. It's marketable. Oops. Slipped. I got overeager. Yeah, all of the, like, yeah, I've played this one so much more than the other Lolos that, like, the puzzles all feel intimately familiar to me. Like, ah, yes, the one that's shaped exactly like this. Iconic layouts. So yeah, as we're gonna see soon, there's a lot more boss fights in this game, which is kind of silly because like they don't add anything more to this game than the fight with the Great Devil did to the first one, to the last one, to Lolo 2. But they're fun because there's a lot of different sprites, and you get to see some they're pretty fun. Well, you'll see what I'm talking about when we get there. Because I'm being vague. Yes. I wonder to what extent they added a boss fight to Lolo 2 because they made Lolo 2 for the NES before Lolo 2 for Famicom, so they're like, you know, simple-minded American gamers. Here's a spot where... Okay, good. If the shots weren't there, then the answer would have been you got to do the other heart framers first. But there. That's all I needed to do to get all the blocking things I needed. And now I've got all the shots I need too. We've done it. I also like, probably everyone's noticed this by now since I've played hours of Lolo the past few weeks, how the Snakeys get, you know, Snakeys are so happy and friendly. When you're just walking around, they're like, ooh, what's he doing? What's he doing? Or what's she doing? Because Lala, you know, they just want to watch. They look happy, they're smiling. They don't care about stopping you. They're not really enemies. They're just dudes. Just friends. Then, once you get all the hearts and the treasure opens, they're like, oh, they're so excited. Like, it's going down now. I choose to believe they don't literally die. The Medusas, and especially the Dawn Medusas, literally die when you get that treasure. But the Snakeys, I choose to believe, are just teleported outside into a field. And then they have a nice time. Out in the field. Okay, so we got currents. Or maybe no currents, but certainly water. We have a Medusa that needs to be blocked in 2 directions. And another Medusa that needs to be blocked in at least 2 directions. Let's just dive in and find out what happens. Yeah, that could be it. They're like, alright, sweet. Now I'm going to be a pogo snakey. I can bounce around in those Elysian fields. Okay. So... I mean, this part's simple enough. I'll do this. And I'll do... I guess I'll use this Snakey for... Oh no. A problem. I can't use this Snakey the way I want to. Okay. Okay. Am I missing something? Or am I overthinking? I could be doing both at once. There's no reason that... You can have a little column A and a little column B. Yeah, I can't use that Snakey again. So I'm kind of stymied here, huh? For a moment. Not for long. I'm not going to get stuck forever on the Snakey cave. Because I need to end up like this. Okay. Okay. What else could I use this Snakey for? I need to stop and think here for a moment. Obviously I can push him up and push him down. But there's no getting him over here, is there? No, there's not. So then, what else could the answer be here? Is it? How many shots do I have total? Not even sure about that. I'm going to experiment for a moment here. I should not be having any trouble with this. It's embarrassing. But I want to finish the Snakey cave before I stop, so hopefully it starts coming together in my brain here. What did I think was difficult here? As long as I get some shots, it's easy. Well, I don't remember what the problem was, but I've solved it. And then it's just a matter of doing this. Oh no! My thumb slipped because of this absolutely terrible, cheap gamepad with its crummy D-pad. Okay. What did I do that fixed my problem? I don't even remember. Ah, I pushed this guy over. Why did that solve the problem? I don't know. Why did I do that? I was too impatient. A clear sign that my brain has had more Lolo than it can handle for the day. And it's in my current condition. Oh, that's the problem. I was just wasting a framer, wasn't I? Okay. This is why 2 Saturdays hence, since I won't be around next Saturday, I'm going to start doing a little bit of Lolo and then playing some Live Alive. A hybrid approach. So I don't get brain fried. Start struggling on easy puzzles. Oh no, oh no. Whew, that got close. There. Oh man, I'm only on room 4. This is probably okay. Alright, 2 Medusas. And then just Snakeys. So the Medusas obviously need to be blocked. The top one needs to be blocked from 3 directions, as does the other. We have 5 blocking objects, so we can see what the gimmick is. Where to start? Could do that. And then I could go like this. No, I can't. Not yet. No. I don't know why that one didn't scare me. It's because I'm stronger now. I beat Lolo too. It's boosted my confidence. Okay. There's a gimmick here. But what is it? What's the gimmick? Oh. Okay. Ah, never mind. They didn't give me shots anyway. So... I mean, maybe. Might as well keep messing around. Right. That's a whole thing. Again, though. My heart is fine. Okay, so I'm actually constrained here, which is helpful. I have to do that, and then I have to do this. When I do this, obviously I'll go to here. No, that was not the move. But there's 2 more shots coming. That's comforting to know. Put this up to here. Okay. Let me think. So if I push this guy up and I get those 2, what if I left him there? I'd be down to 2 framers and 1 Snakey to work with. I would need still to block each Medusa. Yeah. Let's see if it's possible to do it like a hero run here. No, not like that. No, I don't. Okay. Well, what if I leave him there? What possibilities does that open and which does it close? This part's straightforward enough. There's one in the zone. You know what? Leaving that Snakey there is dumb. I can do better with that Snakey. I should do this. And then... try leaving him there. I have 2 shots. Yeah, I think I've been overthinking this, huh? Because there are only 3 more spots that I need blocked. And I have 2 framers and a Snakey. So there's no Snakeys need to pull double duty. Just gonna do that. Put this up there. Then when the Snakey comes back, yeah. Of course. It wasn't gonna be some crazy advanced thing at this early stage of the game. We're done. Dance for me, Snakeys. Currents are obviously in play here. I can take this. Okay. These Medusas. Well, I need a block here. I need a block here. And then... Well, how much do I have to work with? I have 1, 2, 3, 4 snakies. And 2 framers, so 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That might be enough on its own. Well, let me see here. I can try just right off the bat saying, okay, there's 2 problems down. Maybe this goes down. Now a lot depends on what the currents turn out to be. So we actually need to experiment some. Alright, yep. I think that does it. Perfect. Alright. So I think these are still just 5-room caves, which means... Giant Snakey! That moves. So yeah, a thing I like about having the boss fights in this game, that was pretty easy. We're very early in the game, don't worry, Tippity. I loved as a kid, because before I would have even had the like terminology to say sprite art or iconography or whatever, I loved seeing new variations on sprites and sprite art. So the fact that we get 4 giant, more than 4 in the fullness of the game, we get giant versions of the enemies and then we fight them. I like. Okay, I think I'm done, but let's find out what Cave 5 is. It's the Alma Cave. So we're going to get to see a giant Alma 5 puzzles from now, but not today. I've saved the state. I'm going to shut it down. For a very successful day of puzzle solving. So yeah, what's coming up? I'm going to be back here tomorrow unless I turn out I'm wrong and I get really sick. But I think now that I'm back on the side of being okay. So I will have a cookie, absolutely. I believe there are cookies downstairs. But then I'll also have real food, which should be good. Yes, I do like the boss fights are fun. Like they're not at least like certainly the snaky one's not challenging. I can't remember the Dawn Medusa one that I'm pretty sure happens later. They're not like super challenging, but they're fun. And yeah, just like the little having infinite ammo. I gotta go back and play the MSX games sometime. I think I might have briefly played one of them on an emulator in my phase as a young man, but yeah, geez. Now it's just like from this moment on, it's like, why would I not finally mainline all the Lolo that I could possibly get into me? But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow for Ultima 7, The Black Gate. We're gonna finally meet Lord British. And I mean, we've obviously met him before, but we're going to see him for the first time since the Avatar last visited Britannia. And we're going to learn more about what's going on, keep chasing down that murder. Tuesday night, if, schedules align, because it's not just me, but my buddy Greg, if he can come over, we're hopefully going to finally beat Downtown Neketsu Special, the lesser-known sequel to the game that we know as River City Ransom here in the West, or Downtown Neketsu Story. Downtown Neketsu Special, Kunio's historical period drama. It's the full title of that game, and it's excellent. We're having a great time with it. We're close to the end, so we might be able to finish that off. Wednesday, it's got to be the case. I need to beat Chrono Cross. I can't be doing a Wednesday evening stream this late in the semester. Or at least I can do it this Wednesday. But it's got to be done this Wednesday. I'm right in the end game. There's one last game throwing me a curveball of being like, you figure out how to make this happen. How do we get to the floating tower to finally fight the agglomeration of dragon gods? I think I figured it out. But I'll tell you about that on Wednesday. On Friday, if the stars align, we'll pick up with part 2 of our manyth attempt at the Shackles Loosen scenario. We finally beat it in the escape version, only to find out that you're required to beat it in the kill him version. So we'll go back and we'll try that. And then it's the weekend again. But I won't be here next Saturday. I will not be in Nova Scotia. Or I will be in Nova Scotia, but I won't have internet or a computer or anything. So no stream next Saturday. And then the next time we return on a Saturday, I'm going to keep doing Lolo, but I'm also going to start playing Live Alive Remastered. So that's where we are. That's where we're going, at least in the very, very near future. If you stuck around to the end, thank you for sticking around to the end. Bag of Magic Food. It's been a pleasure chatting with you today. Glad you stopped by. Certainly would love it if you want to stop by again. Every now and then I should chill. Smash that follow button, folks. You get to see a really poorly conceived animation of me that is supposed to look like how Lolo celebrates, but does not at all, because I'm not a very good animator. If you came and you left, you can't hear my voice. I'm so glad you stopped by, so thank you. Till the next time that we crack that rainbow egg and we cross the same bridge together. Take care of yourselves and be kind to everyone you meet.